Welcome to Kyle Anthony's UFC betting show. I am Kyle Anthony, and welcome to the podcast. Welcome to the bet review show for UFC 237, Rose Namajunas versus Jessica Andrade. We're going to talk about our best bet play that was for purchase on Wagertalk. We're also going to talk about our three free plays that we had as well, so we will get into all of that. But before we do not forget to subscribe, like, kick the bell icon, get involved in the channel. Always enjoy hearing everybody's comments down below in the comments section, letting me know what bets you placed, what bets you won, what other bets that you were looking to place and maybe didn't. If you were taking some of the free plays that I actually talked about in my prediction show, let me know down there. Give it a thumbs up. Always appreciate the support. So what we will talk about first is the free play. Now, the free play was between Rose Namajunas and Jessica Andrade. Now, this fight here, we had Jessica Andrade to win, and she ended up getting us to cash in on our free play. But here in this fight, the way I always break these fights down on my bet review show is really taking a look at what, was this the right side? Were we on the right side? Even win or lose, did we cap it right? Was it, how do we feel about it overall? And in this fight here, I did like Andrade. I thought that the strength was going to be something that was going to be very difficult for Rose to really counter. And I think that was something inside the clinch. It was going to be tough for her to really dictate the pace of the fight. And I think that was also something, and again, for those of you that did watch the prediction show, I don't have to go over it all now, but you can take a look on the prediction show of everything of my full breakdown of this fight. But in that first round of that fight, Rose really was just doing far more better than I actually thought she would do in that first round. I mean, I thought it was going to be very tough for her. I thought the pressure from Andrade was going to be really tough for her, and she was just picking her apart. Now, I did talk to a bunch of you before the fight. A big part of it was her footwork. She was going to be a lot more technically sound when it comes to her striking, and her diverse striking was going to be a lot more that she could give to Andrade, a lot more weapons she can use. And for me, I just kept getting back to the strength that she's just, the way that she has been throwing around people like Claudia Gadelha, Tisha Torres, and then, brutally knocking out last Karolina Kowalkiewicz. So, that just was stuck in my mind. And that first round, I said, holy crap, this is Rose fight. This is a Rose fight. The way that she was moving, landing, damaging, dropped Andrade. I mean, there were just a lot of great things she was doing. And then into that second round, it really looked like it was more of the same. And I mean, it was really, Rose was really out there doing her job. And the way that she was able to really backpedal and still land. And that was something that I talked about that was going to be tough for her to do over 5 rounds, to be backpedaling and trying to land the big shots. But that first round, she kind of stood toe to toe. I mean, of course she's moving, she's always bouncing around, but she pretty much stand toe to toe with Andrade and was winning and landing the big shots. And then into that second round, Andrade tried 2 times. There's an armbar attempt and a Kimura attempt when she was trying to body slam Rose, and ends up, dropping Rose right in her head, kind of put her out from there, and that was the end of the fight. But it was a great fight, and I was very happy that was a victory for me. But when I take a look at the breakdown, I mean, this was really a great fight for Rose, as in up until the body slam. I mean, she was doing everything that she needed to do to keep Andrade at bay, and really make sure that Andrade wasn't able to land the big shots. Even when she was trying to throw the overhand hooks, that's going to be the devastating shot that Andrade has. She was very prepared for it, very ready for it, very able to counter. So I thought she looked great. I know now that she's talking about, I was just watching the press conference, that she's talking about maybe retiring or taking time off. Even before this fight, which I actually did not hear this, but before the fight, apparently she was in an interview had said she's not sure if she has that hunger anymore to keep fighting, that she says there's other things that she wants to do, which would even more push me more towards Andrade, but then she fought great. So it's a tough spot for her. Andrade is the champion now. She moved forward. I'm interested to see who they're going to set her up with as well. Should be exciting. Definitely some exciting fights to make in that division. So we do cash in on one of our free plays. The other one we had was a free play. It was Anderson Silva versus Jared Cannonier. Now, we had Anderson Silva here, plus 120. I did like the odds. I did like overall, he's going to be a lot more better technically, and Cannonier is very one-dimensional. Cannonier, he with his striking, the traditional boxing style that he does carry, this was a spot here that I gotta say, I thought he looked a lot better. He was able to pressure and get inside on Silva in certain spots, but that leg kick, that would just ended the fight in that first round, end of that first round. I mean, even the way it was going, I kind of liked what Silva was doing. I think that he was doing enough, but there is a lot of spots for Silva where he's just underperforming. He's not really looking to go out there and fire off shots where he is so much better than Jaron Cannonier in the striking. Maybe he was more nervous about getting the takedown, or there was going to be something like that he was more hesitant towards. But when Silva was throwing, he was landing, and maybe not the hardest shots, but he was landing. And I think the volume needed to be a little bit more for him there to really keep Cannonier at bay. But Cannonier throws a leg kick, which is probably something that really Silva was not paying attention for, because it's not something that Cannonier is very much does at all, using any kind of leg kicks, any kind of leveling kicks at all. So for him to really go out there and to end it that way, I give him a lot of credit there. I was back and forth on this fight, and then the more that I looked at Silva, the more I liked Silva and just what he brings to the table and what he's able to do, and the multiple weapons that he has. I thought the path to victory was going to be a great path to victory for him going into the decision. I thought that was going to be something where, hey, he could just pick Cannonier apart for a couple rounds, win 2 of the 3, don't have to be too flashy, work from the outside, and just work his combinations and keep the pace of the fight in a nice distance where Cannonier is not going to be able to land. That was really the path that I was looking at there, and Cannonier did a great job. He was able to, keep it close. It was somewhat close, obviously, in that first round, and then he ended up laying that big leg kick, which dropped Silva, so we do not win on our Anderson Silva versus Jaron Cannonier play. We did have, as another, I'm just going to throw in there, we did have Aldana to beat Batch Kohea. And, Aldana, I got to say, I mean, she looked very good early. And just to go over this one very quickly, she looked very good early. It was something that we liked about her. Her boxing, her just overall technique was going to be a lot better than Kohea. It was a little bit slower, 2-year off. Missed weight by 5 pounds, which is a very large amount of weight. And she looked pretty good. I'm not sure if it was Kohea looking good or Aldana kind of was gassing and not landing, but Kohea was landing some big hooks and started to make it a little bit interesting. But Aldana goes out there and does get the victory for us there as another one of our free plays. And we will now talk about the best bet. Now, the best bet was on Jose Aldo to defeat Alexander Volkanovski. Now, this one here, watching the weigh-ins, I always like to do that. I always like to watch a lot of the press conferences and the media and the interviews and just get more of a feel of where they are mentally. And I really liked what I was hearing from Aldo just in general, just the way he was really going about himself, coming off 2 big victories after only losing to Conor McGregor and Max Holloway twice. He goes out there and beats Mercado in impressive fashion, finishes him, ends up knocking out Jeremy Stevens. So he definitely has that ability where he's able to, he's really starting to get back, a lot of people counting out Aldo to get back. And then I liked what I was hearing from there. And then I also really liked what I had saw at the weigh-in. Now, I'm a very big person when it comes to taking a look at the weigh-ins. I do my picks before the weigh-in, but I always like to make sure that I'm taking a look at that, how I feel. Do I feel better? Do I feel worse? Do I want to put a little bit more action on them? And I thought Aldo looked amazing. I mean, he looked like a monster compared to Alexander Volkanovski. And I thought Volkanovski looked small. I thought he looked a lot smaller than he normally does. So I'm saying, you know what? Even if Volkanovski, who's a pressure fighter, wanting to push forward, kind of utilize some of that dirty boxing inside, even some of his wrestling, I thought he was not going to be able to get, Aldo's not going to need to worry about that. If Aldo stands toe-to-toe with him, he's going to be, I thought he looked a lot bigger, really. And let me know what you guys think, too, of that. But I really thought he looked a lot bigger than Volkanovski. When they got in the cage, I felt great still. I said, this looks like a great fight for us. This looks like a great fight. And the whole time, Aldo was just totally gun-shy. He just was not throwing. He was really letting Volkanovski do what Volkanovski does, and that's basically push forward, and he's the one to strike first all the time. And I think the way that he really needed to counter Volkanovski was going to be having Aldo shoot first. Let Aldo be the one that's going to throw him off of his pace, throw the first shot, have a little bit damaged before even Volkanovski can get into that rhythm, get inside, try to work his game plan. And everybody knew that was going to be Volkanovski's game plan. And even at spots where Volkanovski was at a distance, a spot where, you know what, I love the fact that Aldo had a 4-inch leg reach advantage and utilizing his leg kicks. He was using a little bit there, didn't do it enough, I think, to really keep Volkanovski at bay. But when Volkanovski, again, was at that distance, he was not throwing. I mean, there were spots where Aldo needed to be more active. Some rounds, I think that, you know, the volume even from Volkanovski normally isn't even that high. He's not a high volume kind of guy. You know, Aldo seems to be on the more on the volume side. So I liked so many things about Aldo going into this fight. Again, the way he looked, his mindset. Technically, he's better. He's a better boxer. He's got better level-changing kicks, 92% takedown defense. So it was really funneling the right way. And even in a decision, I said, even if this goes to a decision, this should be Aldo, because he's going to be able to, again, land more than Volkanovski. And in this fight, he just was not doing it at all. It was very upsetting to see even spots where there was, 10 seconds go by and he's not, I mean, obviously you can't constantly throw, but I just think the more activity would have kept Volkanovski at bay and given him and presented more opportunities for Aldo to go out there, either get the finish or at least get some damage. And Volkanovski did his job. Big victory for him. This was a big step up for him, fighting the guys that he has fought, and now he's beating, Jose Aldo, again, who's only lost to Conor McGregor and Max Holloway twice. Pretty phenomenal spot for him there. So we did not win on that play. Alexander Volkanovski does get that victory. So we will, let me know what you guys have. Let me go if you guys were agreeing with some of these plays. Some of you guys were giving me the props on getting the Jessica Andrade call correctly, but I'm still more upset on not getting the Jose Aldo call correctly. So let me know what you guys think down in the comments section. Again, like, subscribe. Always appreciate the support. Let me, drop a comment, and we will see you on the next prediction show. And this is Kyle Anthony's UFC Betting Show, and I'll see you next time.